Okay, behavioral design. So our topic for today is human behavior, the behavioral design, nudge, and a behavioral designer. So yun yung ating 4 topics for today. We will discuss what is human behavior. So what is a human behavior? Human behavior can be defined as the actions, reactions, and mannerisms made by individuals in their interaction with themselves and their physical and social environment, in their everyday life and choices. Human behavior is more unconscious than conscious, more emotional than logical, and more irrational than rational, which means that designing to 100 rational and logical humans beings is equal to designing to people that do not exist. So it means that human behavior is the actions and mannerisms of each individuals. How they talk to other people, how they communicate to other people, and how they communicate to the environment, how they do their everyday life. These are decisions made by these are unconscious decisions made by people or by individual. So we are everybody have their own individual attitude, but the behaviors of people are or mannerisms by individual are also unique from each other. So every person have different mannerisms and different actions or reactions to scenarios, no? And every persons have different interactions to the environment. So, but these interactions or reactions are made unconsciously. No? So hindi siya talaga pinaplano. It's not being planned. No? It's unconscious behavior. No? It's unconscious reaction to things. No? It's more emotional. No? This is more emotional than a logical reaction. So it's more irrational. So if you want to design something for rational, 100% rational and 100% logical persons, it doesn't exist. There is no 100%. There is nobody that's 100% logical and 100% rational person. So everybody is doing things. Everybody is one way or another doing things by his unconscious mind. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo siya inaakalang gagawin mo, no? Kasi yun talagang natural na reaction mo sa bagay na yun, no? So, behavioral design. What is behavioral design? Behavioral design is a method that combines psychology, design, technology, and other methods to identify the motor behind human behavior and predict it in order to influence it. So, ibig sabihin yung behavioral design, it is a design or a technology that you use, no, to manipulate or to identify, no, the behavior, the system why that person is behaving that way, no, and to predict, no, what will he do after that particular design that you put in that environment. So that is behavioral design. So a nudge is as well a nudge, as we will use the term, is any aspect of the choice architecture that alters people behavior in a predictable way without forbidding any option or significantly changing their economic incentive. To count as mere nudge, the intervention must be easy and cheap to avoid. So this is from the Thaler and Sunstein, Nudge Improving Decision in Health and Wellness Happiness. So by definition, a concept of behavioral designs, politics, theory, and behavioral economics, which propose positive reinforcement and indirect suggestion, as a way to influence behavior and decision making of groups of individuals. So nudge is a simple way to modify people's behavior, relationship with an object and environment by designing an incentive. It plays of people's instinct on conscious and subconscious level. A nudge as well as will use the term is any aspect of choice of the choice architecture that alters people's behavior in a predictive way without forbidding any option or significantly changing their economic incentive. So it means that if you can design or you can introduce technology or something to change, you know, or to direct people's behavior, okay, so that is a nudge, no? So if you can influence people in their behavior on a place or on a particular product, okay, that is a nudge. Okay, so it's like if we will relate it in this in marketing, no, in marketing principle, no, you are the packaging is a type of a nudge, no. It is a way that will encourage you to buy that particular object, no, because of the appearance of that object, the way you see it, no. Like one example is one good example is the company like Bench, no, yung Bench, BENCH, no. They are selling towel, no, hand towel, no, but they package the hand towel in a way that you will buy it because of the packaging, right? That's a nudge, no. That is the way to motivate you unconsciously. He is motivating you to buy that particular product, although you don't need it because of the packaging itself, no? Because of the package that the hand towel is being presented to you, you will buy it. No, that is one type of nudge, no, that is what you call choice architecture. Okay, and another one is another type is like what we are doing now, no. People are now encouraged to hand wash, di ba? Put alcohol or disinfect to disinfect their hands, no. So there is they put a alcohol dispenser in front of a door, no. So you have now your attitude now is to go to that alcohol dispenser and wash your hands. That is what you call a they are predicting your behavior, that if you will put a alcohol dispenser in front of a door and before entering the door, you will go to the alcohol dispenser and try to wash your hands with alcohol. That is one type of nudge or choice architecture. So principles to guide the use of nudges, no. A nudging should be transparent and never misleading. So it is a what you call this? It's a responsibility of the architect or the designer not to mislead the people, no, that in terms of in creating nudge, no. So sometimes misleading people can do harm to that particular person. Pag mislead mo kasi yung tao by using choice architecture, pwedeng mapahamak siya. It should be easy as possible to opt out of nudge, preferably with a little or a mouse click, no. Dapat meron siyang decision. There should be you put a choice architecture, but the decision of the person to buy it should be based on his decision. You should give that person a freedom to decide, no. Hindi mo pwedeng wala na siya bang option. You need to put an option, no. That's a good principle that's a basic principle in creating nudges. No? There should be a good reason to believe that the behavior being encouraged will improve the welfare of those being nudged. No? Dapat yung intention mo is to for the welfare of that particular person. Sa ikabubuti niya, kaya nga paglagay ng alcohol dispenser, sa ikabubuti ng tao, kaya nilagay natin yun. Like yung paglagay ng mga bollards, no? Sa mga gilid ng park, no? Those are nudges. Yung mga bollards are nudges. Sa ikabubuti yan ng tao so that vehicles will not go over that particular flat surface because of the bollard. No? Those are nudge. No? So kapareho din nung one sample na ginamit din namin ng nudge is when we created when I created the Oblation Plaza in UP Manila. I created the plaza. If you will go to PGH, there's a oblation in front of PGH, and the oblation flooring is a rough flooring. Very rough, medyo sharp siya ng konti ng mga stone. Pero pwede ka maglakad, but it is not comfortable to walk on it. No? Hindi siya comfortable because my perception is I don't want people to stay on a very long time on that particular space. Ayoko magtagal ang tao doon because that should be an open space with no people on it. And because there is what you call a pathway, no, right beside it. No? So dapat ang tao maglalakad sa pathway, not around that particular oblation. And we don't want people to sit around and stay for a very long time on that particular open area. Alam niyo naman sa Manila, no? Alam niyo naman in cases there are a lot of what you call this vendors, and if that surface is very what you call this smooth, vendors will probably stay on that side because of the smooth surface. Dahil smooth nga siya, okay siya magtinda ron. Pero kung rough siya, they won't stay on that area because it's not comfortable. So those are nudge, no? Those are nudge that we designed for that particular area. But there are areas on that space that you can go, no? But not particularly on that around that particular oblation. Nudge design definition. Understand how decision making takes place, giving the right context into particular behavior and changes way choices are presented. So if you will design a nudge, you need to understand what will happen if you will put that nudge on that particular area. Anong mangyayari? What is the consequence? No? What will the behavior of that particular individual? You know, will it be affected? Will that be beneficial to his behavior, or it will harm him or her? No? And you need to give choices. No? You need to present choices. No? You need to make the person decide. No? Kasi pag like if I will relate it again to sa paligid ng Oblation Plaza. If that person, he has the freedom to go to that plaza. Hindi ka naman pipigilin. There's no barrier. You can go to that plaza and you can decide if you want to stay or not. No? But if you think you're not comfortable, you will not stay for a long time. But if you think it's okay for you to stand on that particular rough surface for a long time, it's okay. It will not limit you to stand there. There's nothing that's will say that there's no loitering on this area. Wala nakalagay doon, no? But you have a choice to make. No? It's your decision. And if there will be a time they need to make that surface smooth, it can be smooth. No? Pwede nilang pakinisin yun. Hindi, they have the freedom to make it smooth. No? the design, the users, no, can make it smooth, no. Maybe next year or 3 years from now, sa tingin nila, we need this area to be smooth. They can make it smooth, no. No? So that is what you call the freedom for people to change that nudge. Nudge design uses encourage positive behavior. So sometimes you put a nudge to encourage positive behavior. No? Like in children's play area, there are a lot of nudges in children's play area, di ba? To encourage positive behavior of children, di ba? Shaping emotion, attitude towards brand. No? Sabi ko nga kanina, the way bench package that particular hand towel, no? It changes the perception of people to that particular hand towel and to the brand of that particular hand towel. Nagkaroon siya ng value because of that particular packaging, no? And that packaging is a nudge, no? That's a design, no? That's what you call a choice architecture. Consciously changing behavior is new, no? Changing behavior is new. And use knowledge to nudge design to make a positive impact on society. No, you can create nudge to create a positive impact. No, so like what you call Isko Moreno is doing now in Manila. He is unconsciously he's creating nudge, no, positive nudge on Metro Manila, di ba? On Manila area to create a positive impact on the society. Di ba? Yun ang ginagawa niya, no? Nilalagyan niya ng value yung area, no? Like yung ginawa niya dun sa Andres Bonifacio Monument, no? He put something na nagkaroon ng importansya yung area na yun. Although matagal na siya nandun, pero it lacks something, may kulang eh. It has to be improved, no? With nudge, no? Nudge design, no? Para the people will now have a different perception on that area. Iba na ngayon ang perception ng tao doon sa area. Dati, ang perception ng tao sa area na is basurahan, tambayan ng mga namamalimos. Ngayon, iba, di ba? It created a sense of respect on that area because of simple things that they put on that area. Okay? But the area is still the same. Parehas pa rin. Yung pa rin naman yun eh. No? Wala naman nagbago. Yung pa rin naman yun. Meron lang silang dinagdag that created a nudge. No? That people now have a different attitude toward that particular space. Iba na yung attitude niya. Iba na yung kanyang perception. Diba? Like in going malls, diba? Meron tayong there are different nudge inside the mall, no? Yung mga malls natin, it creates different attitude toward that malls, no? Ibig sabihin the environment, no? That how they presented that environment to that particular people, it changed that behavior of that particular person. Nagbago yung behavior ng tao eh. Medyo naging clash siya ng konti eh. Yung tao na dating maingay, pagpasok niya rin sa mall na yun, naging tahimik siya because of something. They created a nudge architecture in that particular mall that tamed down behavior of that person. Naging tahimik siya because they put something of that in that particular building, kaya siya tumahimik. Diba? And you can notice that because you are architecture student, you need to analyze it and notice that particular things. No? Kailangan observant kayo sa ganung mga bagay kasi those things are your advantage as architect. Those nudge are your advantage. If you can identify those nudge and you can create those nudge, that are advantage, no? Advantage you that are particular advantage for you as designers. So what does behavioral designers do? A behavioral designer focuses on what people do. They focus on action both inside and outside of a digital product or service. They look at what influences people, the decision they make, and how it impacts the user's behavior. Behavioral designers knows that what people do and how people think are influenced by many factors, some obvious, most hidden. And the majority of factors are outside of the influence of other problem-solving sectors, like product design, customer experience, and user experience. Okay, so the behavior designers, no, they study, no, they study the people, no, that will use that product, that particular product, and how they will use it, and how you will motivate them to use that particular product. Okay, those are behavioral designers. Okay, so they particularly emphasize on customer experience. No? If you will use this product, you will experience this. If you will use this product, this will solve your problem. So those are behavioral designers. So they put that particular design on your product so that people will be influenced while using that product or while experiencing your product. Okay? So a behavioral designer job consists of intervention design. Isang ginagawa nila, intervention designs are designs of an experience that triggers behavior change. Intervention targets conscious and unconscious influences that inform what people do. They are designed and measured based on positive impact that they have on people. So intervention design, there are 4 intervention designs. A behavior designer works across habit design, persuasive design, preventative design, and intervention design. User motivation and business need determine which intervention design type is selected. So this type of intervention design, no, which is being used by behavioral designers, are being decided, no, by people that will introduce the product. No? So if you are introducing a product or introducing a design or formulating a concept, no, you can be guided by this intervention design. No? Pwede mo i-guide ang sarili mo. No? If you are creating a particular lobby or a building, you can package your building based on intervention design. No? You can motivate people. No? That's yung alam mo yung mga ginagawa people that yung mga star architects, that the architects that are very like artists. They work like artists because they are putting what you call this, a brand on their product. They are putting brands on their product. They are giving value to their product because of behavioral design, no? Because of a nudge. No? Yun yung ginagawa ng mga architects. No? They trigger people's minds that this particular building should be accepted because of their intervention design. They persuade people na itong building ko should be accepted because of how they present the building, what intervention design they put on that building, and they motivate people. No? They motivate people that you need my building. No? You need because this is my brand. That is what you call high motivation. No? Some architects have achieved that particular level. No? May mga arkitekto, they have achieved that particular level that people are motivated to get their them as their services as architect because they have high motivation. No? Na-motivate sila because of the word. No? Pag ginawa nito yan, sigurado maganda yan because of that is what you call a behavioral approach in packaging your work. Another is create a behavioral map. No? Yun yung ginagawa din ng mga behavioral designers. No? Behavioral maps reveal how customers' actions are dependent on factors outside their control. Factors like what other people are doing and elements in their environment. It maps what people are doing, thinking, feel, and how this change depending on the different behavior scenarios. No? So, ito namang behavioral maps, no? Behavioral designers create like a census, no? Kumukuha siya ng what people like and what people don't like and what people are thinking what is right, and then they put it on your product. No, they put it on your product so that your product will what you call this will show that particular intention or that particular fact or no, particular feature, no, on that product. Kasi nga na-survey na niya yung mga gusto ng tao, eh, no? Ano ba yung gusto makita ng tao? So it will motivate people to go to that particular product or go to that particular setting, no? Yun yung ginagawa ng behavioral designers, no, to create a behavioral map. So kinukuha niya yung trend, no, yung trend, no, that's a trend. So we need to go with the trend so that people will buy our product or get our product or get our services. So that is what you call creating behavioral maps. Right? Behavioral scenarios. Behavioral scenarios are used to describe possible action customers take. They are if people turn left versus people turn right stories. They are the core tool to design intervention. They are similar to the user story, but specifically include 3D drive factors that me, we, and oversee to view the actions of the context of influence. No? So, ito naman mga behavioral scenarios. No? Ito yung ginagawa ng mga behavioral designers is to create scenarios. What will happen if we will design it like this, and versus what will happen if we will design it like this. No? So, it is comparing two type of designs, two options, and then try to analyze which is better, no? Or try to analyze based on your own perspective sa sarili mo, no? Let's say tayo gagamit niyan, ano mangyayari diyan? O kaya ikaw gagamit niyan, ano mangyayari? Versus ito gagawin natin. So those are behavioral scenarios, no? So yun yung ginagawa ng mga behavioral designers is to analyze scenarios. What will happen if we will do it like this one? Or what will happen if you will use it? So those are behavioral scenarios. So create choice architectures, no? So how information is structured and presented influence what people choose. This is choice architecture. It goes beyond structuring information to make it easier to understand and focuses how information is used in the lead up to and after decision. Choice architecture isn't about manipulating. It's about providing the right information in the right order to help people make the best choice. So, hindi mo naman in creating choice architecture, you don't push them to do things. No, you give them freedom to choose what they will do. No, that's choice architecture. You give them all the information and then let them decide what to do. That is choice architecture. That is what behavioral designers do, is to create choice architecture. Plan and execute co-creation workshop. No? A behavioral designer is able to go into a large group of people and extract hidden insight. The insight of a behavioral designer seeks is usually unconscious and revealed by subtle interaction between people. What people say is really what they think. A behavioral designer has to look deeper into what people do, how they interact, and what words they communicate. They facilitate tasks and individuals and groups to extract their insights, and tasks can be differently relevant to the behavior of series of abstracted activities. It's designed to reveal the more about people and their social groups. So, actually, if you will relate this into architectural practice, no, ito kadalas ginagawa to ng mga architects. No? Architects are behavioral designers. No? And we usually we try to get information from the users on what they want and what they need, so that we can address, no, and design proper spaces for them. So that is extraction of information to the users, no. So it is by interviewing users, no, like if you have a client, let's say may nagpapagawa sa ng bahay, no, and kakausapin mo yung pamilya, what they want, ano ba yung gusto ng anak, ano ba yung gusto ng nanay, ano ba yung gusto ng tatay, paano ba magluto yung nanay, gusto ba niya nasa kanan yung sink, nasa kaliwa yung sink, nasa likod niya yung ref. Those are information that you need to gather so that you can address, no, what they will do inside the new house or the new home, di ba? Kasi ikaw ang mag-create ng kanyang unconscious behavior doon sa loob ng kanyang kitchen. Let's say yung kitchen niya, ikaw ang gagawa ng kitchen niya. So kung paano mo nilayout yung kitchen niya, ganun siya magtatrabaho. That will be, and you have the power to do that because you are the architect. Unconsciously, you are leading, you are putting, you are hindi naman pwedeng sabihin manipulating, you are directing what is the process of that person on how he will cook that particular dish, no? Ano yung proseso? Because ikaw gumawa ng layout ng kanyang kitchen, di ba? Ganun din yung kama, di ba? If you will put the bed beside a wall, binangga mo yung bed sa pader, nilagay mo yung kama at sinandal mo sa pader, yung isang side. So ibig sabihin yung kanan na kamay ng tao ay nakasandal sa pader. So that will be his behavior. That will be his sleeping position for the rest of the time na natutulog siya sa kwarto na yun. Na yung isang kamay niya ay nasa pader at hindi siya pwedeng bumaba dun sa kaliwa. Ang baba lang niya ay sa kanan. And you have unconsciously, no, you have the power to move, no, the power for his movement inside that room. Ikaw gumawa ng kanyang movement. Nilagay mo ang ginawa mo na siya ay laging bababa sa kanan. Di ba? Hindi siya pwedeng bumaba sa kaliwa. Hindi mo alam na ginawa mo yun, pero ikaw ang gumawa nun. No? Ikaw ang naglagay sa utak niya na ang baba mo lang palagi sa kanan, ha? Hindi ka pwedeng bumaba sa kaliwa. Hindi na alam na ginawa mo yun para sa kanya. And that is what you call behavioral design. No? You created the attitude or the behavior of that person in that particular room. Diba? No? Napaka powerful, diba? It's very powerful. Architects are very powerful, no? You control the spaces of people, no? Kino-control mo yung space ng tao. Even if you are designing for the president of a country, you can control the president of the country by the workspace that he will work. Ikaw mismo kaya mo siyang kontrolin doon sa space sa pagtatrabahuan niya. Diba? Because you can create, hindi ka pwedeng lahat ng gamit mo i-store mo lang sa kanan. Hindi mo pwedeng i-store sa kaliwa kasi nasa storage mo lang sa kanan. And that is your control as an architect. No? You created that particular scenario inside that room. So ito naman yung kasunod is plan, conduct, and support behavioral research. Behavioral research has a large overlap with users' research, but your focus is on discovering the factors that influence people across the scale and set levels of their behavior. So ito naman, you are creating a research on how, what are the behavior of people on that particular type of design. No? So data gathering to, no? This is also for the consumption of other behavioral designers. No? So what you are doing as a behavioral designer is to gather a lot of data and interpret the data for other people to use it. So gagawa ka ng interpretation ng data na yun. Another is to synthesis literature reviews. So behavioral design start with insight, cited and proven insight in the subject area, behavior and archetype involved. A behavioral designer assesses academic papers to extract key and useful insights. They use this insight to determine a possible direction early on the process. Behavioral literature's reviews save time and investment by discounting potential routes at the start of the project. So ito is behavioral designer can do a synthesis review of literatures. So if you will be doing your thesis, siguro ilang semesters na lang from now, no, mga isa o dalawang taon na lang from now, you'll be doing your thesis, and then you will be encountering related literature reviews. No? And if you will be gathering literatures for your thesis, you need to interpret the literature. Kailangan meron kang interpretation. You just not copy and paste that literature on your book. No? You need to analyze that literature and how it will help or how it affects your thesis or your paper, so that literature is relevant to your paper. Pwede kasi hindi relevant, kinuha mo lang, nilagay mo lang, pero wala siyang relation sa yung thesis. So that you need to select the proper type of literature for your thesis. And in behavioral study, they are reviewing literatures that can be used later on, and that is beneficial for other behavioral designers, para hindi na sila magta-trial and error. So there are reviews of literatures of different behavioral designers, so that designers like us can use those literature, and we can use that in our designs. Apply human-centered design. A behavioral designer knows design thinking both as an approach to problem solving and as a set of tools to use on a project. They put the users first, but keep on focus on other people directly and indirectly influence their designers' choices. Okay, so that ends our behavioral design. Okay,